Good morning, traders. It's Perry. Welcome to StartupTrading.com, and it's 4 minutes to 9 a.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday, March 11th. So the title of the video is JOLTS at 10 because that's the big news event for the day. It can be pretty market moving, so just be aware of that. We usually have volatility at 10 a.m. anyways, but this could really set the tone for the at least the AM session going into lunch, depending on how it comes out. Of course, the big news print for the week is tomorrow morning at 8:30. That's going to be on traders' minds today, other than all the other shenanigans going on in the world. Uh, Looking at where we spent yesterday, basically almost a 25-point range in the Qs in this session. Basically from 492 all the way down to 469. Um, and then for the cash market, the SPX, basically a 200-point range for the session from, even though the cash doesn't trade, it's still, you can figure out where it would have been. From 55.50 up to 57.50 was where we had. And for the SPY, pretty much a 20-point range for it from 556 all the way up to 577 was where it spent yesterday. If we look at what structure looks like after just from yesterday's session, so right at value area high, we have some single prints. Uh, and then we have this split that was, previously right on yesterday's bell high. So those are your two, yesterday's high and these single prints are, markers to see how strong a squeeze would be to the upside. For the ES, you're still looking at 56, 46 as a split in the auction. And for the Dow, you're looking at basically 42,100 up to around 42,275 would be, where that plays into for the single prints. Ever since we come back up here and retest those highs, we're unable to break through them. It's just been a watershed event uh, coming down into, uh, you know, we are on what we in profile consider an impulse move down out of balance until you take out a previous day's high, and then we have to just see if it's one and done, three and done, or five and done, and how much we can get. It's the percentage. To me, I think this is a longer sequence. I still think we were in. Uh, from the buy from October of 2022, I think that, the last 5 months before we started breaking down, this was just the sell point for that. And I think we're, going to come back into a deeper sequence. There's actually 5 levels that I'm looking for. Well, and Jack's posted in the technical analysis some of the levels he's looking for. But more than likely, you're not going to V bottom out of this. You're going to get you know, some consolidation down here for months, and then one more shakeout, and then the move higher would be typically how this would work. Uh, so we are oversold right now. Once again, every time we've been oversold, we have got a little bit of a dead cat balance, if you will. Uh, I'm particularly looking at the possibility of one of those today. Uh, Otherwise, the ES is just going to keep smoking down. The next major stop I have for the ES is, you know, right around this uh, 55, 54, 53.67, excuse me. And that's going to line up with the next level that I'm looking for. We might not get that until the middle of April, the beginning of May, is when we could maybe check down to there. I would expect potentially a dead cat bounce from this uh, right around yesterday's bell low up to 58.38 is what I'm looking for at this point for the ES. Uh, and we'll have to see, if we get that. That would be around a 300 point bounce uh, in the ES over, multiple sessions. Uh, the only thing that really has me thinking that, it's potential just to keep bleeding lower is we've got the VIX is going to expire next Tuesday instead of next Wednesday. Then we have the FOMC on Wednesday, and then we have OPEX on Friday. Uh, I'll have to look and see. I think this is the last time that us as traders, right, will be using these March contracts as front month. I think coming next Monday, we're going to switch to June on for us day traders, and then that's not going to roll off the March until the opening bell on next Friday after all those events come out. So it's potential that we don't even see the bottom of whatever we're looking at until next Friday. It doesn't mean we can't get a bounce from between now and then, but we might not put in our low until next Friday. So keep that in mind. Uh, Overnight has been a little quiet, basically, uh, as far as things go around here. Right up to value area high for the Russell, right up to the bottom of those single prints in the Dow, and then it tested over this 56-46 split uh, with just a shakeout. So it had a look above and fell and dropped back into the lower auction. Keep in mind these are splits in the auction on this thing. When they're dotted, they're you know, uh, it's just something to be aware of. That's where we've split auctions before. When they're dashed, it's probably a little bit more, uh, you know, of a focus. And when it's a solid line, it's obviously even more important to be aware of. But we'll see what we can get. What I'll be watching first is this point of control of 19,600 for, which is a little bit above the overnight high. The overnight high right now is at 585, so 15 points over that overnight high is where yesterday's point of control was for the NQ. And I also want to see if we have sellers that can actually drive this and keep it below value area low for the bell uh, once it starts. Otherwise, we could just sit here and shift around in value today in the morning session, looking for a decision on which one of these auctions that we want to go into. Keep in mind, we are extremely oversold at this point in time. We are due for a little bit of a dead cat bounce. Whether that's just 120 ES handles or 300 ES handles, we'll find out over the next session or two. Uh, I would not push anything much past yesterday's low on any of these indexes for pressing, unless the VIX is just skyrocketing, one time framing and solid. Um, I still, to be honest with you, um, below yesterday's low, I'll probably just be hands off and not take any trades at all the rest of the day if that's the way it wants to go, because I just think you're playing with not only fire, you're playing with C4 down there. It's just going to be it's just not good trade location anymore. We're too oversold. I hope this helps. You guys have a great day. We'll see what Jack's looking at, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.